I'm Mary Adam, and I created the viral Elmo post of Elmo getting laid off on LinkedIn, and it's been getting picked up by Variety, Rolling Stone, Today Show, and more.
All right, Mary, Adam, welcome to the Breaking and Entering Advertising Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Gino?
Doing so well. I could not believe that this Elmo gets laid off post, it's going viral, was made
Yeah,
by you. We go way back,
yeah.
and I'm just really impressed by you, by how fast this was. That's what this conversation is about. You'll set the stage. We'll learn about you and what's next with this initiative. How's that sound, Mary?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Amazing. So give us the rundown. What is going on in the world that this idea came to life?
Yeah, so I was like super pissed off that they were defunding PBS. I feel like PBS is like a bipartisan thing that people love. I mean, I grew up loving Sesame Street. Even now, there's like so many Elmo clips I get that I just love. Like the Andrew Garfield Elmo clip went super
Mhm.
viral. And so I was like, what's something that I can do to try to help save Elmo? And I have some friends who were laid off as federal workers, and they all were posting these posts of like, "Hi, I recently got laid off with like the federal budget cuts," and like did the whole spiel, and they would get like an outpouring of support. And I was thinking to myself, like, if PBS is getting defunded, then that means Elmo's out of a job and he just got fired by the federal government cut. And so I had this thought like literally Tuesday night, and I woke up Wednesday morning and I'm like, I'm going to make a LinkedIn profile for Elmo. I'm going to make a LinkedIn post for it. And I'm just going to see what happens. And I posted this whole thing. I did it in the tone of Elmo, but also in the tone of like these layoff posts.
Mhm.
And what started was like I got a creative director once I made the post and the profile and I got it out there. I got a creative director in on it with me, George Apfelbach, and we started like getting to work on just like building a network for Elmo. So it started with like me reaching out to people I knew in the industry to be like, hey, add this profile, and I'm gonna start to like basically comment as Elmo out in the world, like with this post. And so I started building a network, and then I would like start to see on my feed people like posting, like, hey, I recently got this job, or hey, I recently got laid off, or I'd see like recruiters posting jobs, and I would respond on them as Elmo under the profile. And so I'd be like Gap posted job, and I responded under it. I said, Elmo loves fashion. Could Elmo work for the Gap? And it like all
Yeah.
these people started liking it and commenting it. And then they would go to the link, and they would it was just like blowing up. Like literally by the end of Wednesday, it was at I think the LinkedIn post had over 200,000 impressions. It had 5,000 likes. It had 1,000 comments on it and like
Wow.
2,000 reposts. And I was responding to every comment as Elmo, which was giving it more traction. And I was having people DM me and like pour their hearts out about how much they love Sesame Street, how sad they are, how they're going to do everything they can. And I think what made the post really viral is that PBS has a link out right now, which everybody should sign. It takes literally 10 seconds to do, but you sign it and it'll reach out to your local congressperson to save PBS. And I put that on there, and hundreds of people were commenting that they were doing it. They were reposting, getting their friends to sign this thing to reach out to their congressperson, a petition basically to save PBS. And it was like blowing up. And basically, then I think I was on it responding as Elmo, and then the LinkedIn profile stopped working, and they basically like LinkedIn can't like figure out what I was on to and
Mhm.
deleted the profile. But then it was crazy to see that then me and my coworker George were like, well, I guess this is it. Like this is a good run. This is cool. And then we started going on Instagram and TikTok and seeing people pick it up. Like there were White House correspondents picking it up and posting about it on Twitter. Then by Thursday, like Rolling Stone started picking up Variety, like all these people started picking it up and being like, there's this fake Elmo account that's going viral for like doing a laid off post for Elmo. And like every article has been talking about this petition to sign up to like save PBS basically. And then yesterday we got on the Today Show, and it's just like it's still been going. I mean, I feel like our virality has to be coming to an end, but it's just been going so viral. It's been insane.
I applaud. This is incredible. So let me understand the context here a little bit further. When when did you find out about like the budget cuts?
I think it was whenever it came out. I want to say that was like I think it was from Wednesday. It was 5 days before that, so I think it was like
Okay.
Thursday or Friday of last week it was announced, and I just kept thinking like, what is something I can do on my own to help out? I just kept thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. So looking at the calendar here, so like early May, like May 1st or May 2nd,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, you get the news that comes out, budget cuts to public broadcast radio. Is that what it's called? What is it?
Uh, yeah, budget cuts to like public radio,
Public radio.
yeah,
Yes. So
public radio.
so that comes out Thursday, Friday. You're thinking you are a copywriter by your day job. Like this is what you do for your
Yeah,
career. You're a copywriter at Leo Burnett. So your life is around coming up with ideas to move behaviors, sell products, sell services, really influence culture, right?
yeah.
So you're thinking about it, and why you you said you grew up watching Sesame Street, like, but why did you feel like you had a calling for this, and what do you do next?
Well, I I feel like I had a calling because A, I was passionate about it, but like B, I was talking to somebody I used to work for, and they were saying, you know, it's like a perfect storm for you. You have a you knew Elmo's voice because you've watched so much Sesame Street, so you had Elmo's voice down, but you also are in the right creative industry for like to do something like this, for it to blow up organically like this. And I think like because of all those things, I'm like, okay, I working with like big brands like like Molson Coors, like Campbell's and all that, like I kind of know the secret sauce a little bit of how things can blow up on their own. And so I was like, what if I just do something on my own, that like something that I would almost propose at my job, but just do it on my own and see if it blows up. Like that is like I felt like I had the skills to do it and I had the passion.
Yeah, yeah, and you didn't wait. Like
No, I didn't.
you didn't
No.
wait for approvals from your career or from somebody else or your mentors or your parents or
Yeah.
whoever, your loved ones. You just got to work on it,
Yeah, I
and
just did it.
so the thinking, what was your creative process like on this? Like, how did you get to the Elmo LinkedIn layoff post?
Yeah. So, um something that I used to work for, I'm sure you know them, these two dudes, Nick Howard, Nick Stoner, and they would give me the best piece of advice they ever gave me is like, I remember talking to them about some project in their book. I mean, I went, I like went to Burnett to work for them basically, like to
Hmm.
weasel my way onto their team. And
Yeah.
they said to me, they were like, I forget what piece of it was, but I was like, how did you guys make this? And they were like, Mary, you just got to do stuff and like you just got to do it on your own. You just like you shouldn't ask for permission, don't follow the rules, just make stuff, and like brands might get behind it. And so I had that in my mind of like, okay, I need to like start looking at like at almost my creative process is like how can I just make things on my own, and like how can they get some traction behind them. So like my creative process, like I feel like one, I had this really great piece of advice and I knew creatives who had done this before and it had worked. But I think also my creative process was like I literally was looking at other people's like it was very depressing, but I was looking at other people's laid off posts. And then I was looking at videos of Elmo. I watched like a bunch of videos of Elmo. I looked at all these laid off posts. I looked at like LinkedIn profiles, and I was like, okay, how can I like make a perfect storm out of these? How can I replicate Elmo's voice, and how can I make it feel inherent to like this LinkedIn behavior? And so like it wasn't just a profile that I made and a LinkedIn post I made. Elmo had skills on his profile. He had like dancing, coloring, like reciting the alphabet on his skills. He had an about me where it was like Elmo lost job, uh Elmo got defunded, Elmo need new job, Elmo open to work. And like I used the open to work like banner on it and everything. I made it very inherent to LinkedIn behavior where like it wasn't just a
Hmm.
post that you're seeing and like you go to the profile and it's like it doesn't really make sense. Like you go to the profile and you see that he's worked at Sesame Street for literally as long as he's worked at Sesame Street. Like you
Hmm.
see an about me, you see these skills, you see all these things. So you're kind of like, I was like, how can I make this like when people see it, they're like, oh, this is cool. Like somebody, like this feels like Elmo. Like it actually feels like Elmo made this profile.
Right, right. And it might have been like people might have thought like this was actually from Sesame Street because you
People
did so
did.
much yeah, but it was you,
Yeah.
a passionate creative copywriter who works in advertising in the day, but also just an advocate for what you believe in at night,
Yeah.
coming up with ideas, executing on that, which I love. And the amount of work that went into that too, of understanding Elmo's brand, looking at the trends on LinkedIn, what's going on there, building up the profile, probably creating an email and then
Yeah. I
setting
created
it
an
up
email.
there. Like
Yeah.
that's
There's
so
an
impressive.
email. I made an email. I made an Instagram. Um, I just made a website. So I'm making all this stuff that feels very inherent to Elmo.
Yeah. I was going to ask you next then, what's next? Like, where do you see
So
this going?
I I'm doing this completely on my own. I have like a little like band of people who are behind me. We have a group chat and we're trying to make more content for Elmo. What I want to do is I want to make this a 360 campaign. I want to put out wild postings that have a QR code on it that get people on the street who have seen this to scan the QR code and like and sign up to save PBS. I want to make merch that when you buy 100% of the proceeds go towards PBS. But like I need money to do this basically, like I'm a feeble mid-level copywriter. So like what I've been trying to do right now is raising money to make this stuff happen. I'm working with a killer designer right now, a killer CD, a killer producer, and we have all the stuff made. And right now we're just trying to raise money from friends and family and people we know in the industry to get this stuff made. So like, you know, that's what we're trying to do next. We're trying to make this merch. We're trying to get these wild postings out here basically as soon as Monday. But like what I need is like, I would love it other people in the industry, if they'd be willing to donate, and all this would be going to like making a 360 campaign with the intention to get more people raising money or buying things for to raise money for PBS and signing on to save PBS and like to keep urging Congress. I mean, this link has been blowing up since we've put this out in the world.
Incredible. How can people do this, Mary?
Okay, so they can go to the Venmo. It's at Elmo, open to work, all one word, lowercase. I'll share it with you too, Gino, after this. But
Wonderful.
this is the Venmo. I mean, you can't really see it here, but
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
send it. I'll send it after. It's at Elmo, open to work, and any money I raise is going to be going towards making these T-shirts, making hats, making the wild postings, and anything that's extra, it's all going to be donated to PBS.
Incredible, Mary. Anything else we did not cover here? I think this is incredidible. I love that you're utilizing your creative capabilities for good, something you believe in, and you did it in just a wonderful way. I think everybody should take notes from this and get on board with what you're doing.
Thanks, Gino. I think the last thing I would say is to anybody watching this, sign the link. I'll give it to you, Gino, to post with
Mhm.
this, but it literally is the easiest petition I've ever signed. And it goes to your local congressperson. You just put in your address, you just put in your name, you just put in your email, and sign that link and I think if enough people sign it, we can really save PBS.
Wonderful. Mary Adam, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.